snap, get it, pose, snap, get it, pose, snap, get it.
Welcome to another edition of Storyville Sessions. Today we wanted to talk about virtual production. This piece that we're about to show you, we filmed in Shanghai. Watch it and we'll talk about it in a second. So virtual production, man, let's talk a little bit about that. It's basically a huge LED wall. It's 20 feet tall. I forgot how wide this sucker is. It's huge. They use it on shows like The Mandalorian, the new Batman movie. It really came up during the pandemic, right? Couldn't go out, couldn't shoot on location, but they still needed to produce content. And so that's where virtual production kind of saw its rise, and now it's being integrated in a lot more productions. We decided that we were going to shoot this in virtual production to really showcase to a client our ability to shoot anywhere in the world, right here in the middle of the desert in Las Vegas, right? We wanted to show them that it's more cost effective from flying their crew, getting location permissions, and all the other stuff that comes with shooting internationally. Save a lot more money by shooting it in virtual in Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, we shot all that you just saw in 4 hours. We did that. They're good friends over at View Studios here in town, here in Las Vegas. We're proud production partners with View. We were able to get into the studio the day before and kind of play around in there. We knew that we were going to shoot, obviously, in Shanghai. So we sourced a lot of the background images that you saw from Storyblocks. That is our stock video library that we use here. It's awesome because they had tons of footage that we were able to use. These are 4K files that we threw up on this huge LED wall. In virtual production, that is considered a plate. Whether it's video or still, it is a plate of an image that we're throwing up on the wall and using that as our background. Now, what that means is if I take the camera and I move it around, that plate is staying locked in place, right? It's a plate. There is a method in which you can use a 3D environment, which means if I move the camera around, the background will parallax and look like you're actually moving in that environment with the camera. Normally how this is done is with software, 3D generator software like Unreal Engine 5 and things like that. For this one, we decided not to go that route, and we kind of knew that most of our shots would be locked out. So let me show you this. This is from our test day the day before. Again, this is just testing out what it looks like, different lighting scenarios, different footage up on the wall. There's me and Sebastian. You see the shot in the actual final product, right? Kind of getting that lighting right, making sure it looks good. This is Sebastian looking around. This is that driving plate. We just kind of wanted to see what that looked like. And then finally, the waterfront scene. Again, there's no one in the frame, but this is just seeing what that looks like proportionally from the lens to the wall. So let's get into the actual shoot day. The first shot that we pulled off was this waterfront shot. You can see our background plate, the waterfront image of Shanghai. It's sized down on the wall. We're not using the full wraparound of the LED wall. You'll see on the sides, we have blown up images of the waterfront, of the different buildings, just to help give us more of that ambient light. Also, you can see set up here, we have other lights that are tucked away into the corners of the wall that again mimic the actual lights that are coming from that environment, that are hitting our talent, that helps sell that we are really there. Another thing that you see here, you see Sebastian there with this big flag. kind of fanning me. He's actually not fanning me. He's fanning the plant that is in front of the frame there. It helps, blur that line between what's virtual and what's real. So the plant has this subtle movement of wind hitting it. We have another fan, you can see it in the left-hand corner there, that's actually hitting our talent that's blowing wind at them also. So again, selling that idea that they're actually on the waterfront, there's a gentle breeze blowing in. You also see this little puddle of water there. And the thing that we did there was we put a little bit of water and then we hit this light and we use it kind of like a bounce to bounce back up into the plants and a little bit on the lens. It's super subtle. No one noticed, but it's there. I noticed, Sebastian noticed, and it helps again sell those little tiny things that you get when you shoot in an actual environment. So if we were actually on the waterfront, yes, the ground would have been a little bit wet. Yes, there would have been a plant, and yes, there would have been wind. So that's what we did to help sell it. And again, lighting was the biggest thing there. This shot right here, using the Red Komodo, we're using the DZO Picture zoom lens. It was a 22-50 f2.8, which means it opens up pretty wide and it gives you a nice, crisp, clean image. I was over the shoulder. I'm not getting that full parallax that you get with a 3D environment, but because it's a fixed background, right? You're on the waterfront and it's so far in the background that whenever I'm moving it, it looks like we're actually there. So I didn't really need it per se for this one. The move was so subtle that it's just enough that it helps sell that it's real. Again, it's maybe I'll say my second favorite shot, because we're gonna get to my favorite shot, because it does make it look real. So that is the waterfront shot. The driving scene. So this is a driving plate that, again, we sourced from our stock footage library. This is actually New York City. It's not even Shanghai, but it looked good. It matched the tone and color temperature that we needed for this shot. And I knew that the background would be bokeh enough that you couldn't tell the location per se, and I just needed buildings and lights and stuff hitting them. So we took the image and we mirrored it and flipped it to give you those reflections and the lights on the car that helps sell that it's real. That's maybe one of the things that you don't get with green screen. Whenever you put something in green screen, you don't get the reflections that are in the room, right? In virtual production, all that happens in camera. It's magical. It really is. It looks so good, and it's just subtle. So if you look at this, we don't really have much lights set up in the shot. There is the car, there's the ambient light, and I have two of the Aperture MC lights sitting in the dashboard and in the cup holder, matching the color temperature of that phosphorus light that you get when you're outside at night, hitting them gently on their faces just to give them that gentle glow. But all the rest of the light, you're gonna see the reflection coming off the wall in their eyes, hitting off those highlights on the cheeks, and again, reflected in the car and in the environment. That's a little bit of behind the scenes on how we made Shanghai in a day in 4 hours. And I probably talked about it longer than it took for us to shoot it. Anyways, see you guys next time on Storyville Sessions. I'm out. Peace.